Today I'm going to be taking a look at these earth textures by Vallejo. Hey guys, welcome back to Black Magic Craft. It is Tuesday, and that means it's Reviews Day. Well, actually, this is gonna be less of a full-on review and more of a product test and first impressions. I recently got my hands on a ton of Vallejo products. They sent me a bunch of stuff in the hopes that I would try it out, use it, and maybe integrate it into my builds. Now, full ethics disclosure here, they did not pay for this video, but they did send me a bunch of stuff for free. The majority of what they sent me were miniature paints. I'm not gonna waste a lot of screen time reviewing their paints because it is widely known that Vallejo makes fantastic miniature paints. What I really want to focus on here are some of the products they sent me that are far more appropriate and in theme with terrain building. They gave me a bunch of their earth textures, water effects, and weathering paints, and those all really piqued my interest. But I gotta say that upon opening the box and seeing all this new product, it was pretty overwhelming. Me as a creator, artist, builder, whatever, I like to find new products and techniques slowly and organically so I have time to get to know them and just figure out what they do. All of a sudden, I have a ton of new stuff on my table and I don't know what a lot of it does or how it acts. So I needed to find a way to deal with that. And I thought the best thing to do would be to focus on one of the lines and just open them up, test them out on some swatches just to see what they're all about. And I figured the best place to start was the earth textures because they seem to be the most straightforward product. Also, they seem to be the most appropriate for terrain building. There were 8 different earth textures that they sent me, although I'm pretty sure there's actually a whole bunch more in the line that they didn't send me. These are texture pastes that are designed to go straight from the pot right onto a miniature base or a plastic model. As soon as I opened these up, I was struck with the very familiar smell of acrylic. These reminded me a lot of the smell of acrylic caulking or the acrylic pre-mixed grout that you can buy for doing tile work, real tiles, not dungeon tiles. Once I started applying them to my little test swatch, I was really impressed with how well they applied. They went on smooth, evenly, had good coating, and just were in general really easy to work with and control. I've attempted to make my own texture pastes in the past before. The real problem with them always seemed to be how messy they were and how difficult they were to work with. I've never been able to get the composition quite right that I could paint them onto something and have full control over them and have it not be a big hot mess. These, however, whatever they've done in the mix, they got it right. They apply beautifully. I would say that for pretty much every scenario, you probably only need one coat. And again, really easy to control and work with. Reading the packaging, most of these have a drying time that varies from like 30 to 45 minutes, all kind of in that range. My little test card actually dried much faster than that. I think it took about 20 minutes or maybe even less to be fully dry. They all gave a really nice textured look, but what I was really interested in testing was how well they bonded and how durable they were. My expectations were far exceeded here. All of them bonded crazy well to my test card. They're not coming off, it's not scratching, it's not flaking, they are on there really well. But cardstock, which is what I tested these on, is a pretty forgiving material in terms of bonding. I decided to test it further by applying one of them straight out of the pot onto a plastic mini base. I just put a really thin coat on, no other glue, no nothing, just out of the pot onto the mini base, let it dry, and wow. Once dried, That texture paste was fully cemented and bonded to the plastic, like as strong as super glue. I was really surprised. It doesn't scratch off, it's not gonna chip. I would say with 100% confidence, you could put this texture paste directly onto any plastic model or base and not have any fear of it coming off in the future. That was really impressive. On miniature bases, I think these are a slam dunk, home run, no question. Everybody doing miniatures should have these. What do I think about these for terrain building? I'm not so convinced. I don't think I'd want to buy a whole bunch of these pots and use them up in bulk, making big boards or massive set pieces. It would not be cost effective, and in that case, probably better off still pursuing the idea of a make your own paste and trying to get that right. With one exception, using this texture paste to do the stucco on Tudor style buildings. This stuff is going to be fantastic. That's what I had tried to make my own version of before, but it was too messy. But if you had a styrofoam house with all the little timbers, you could use this stuff right out of the pot to very carefully paint in all the little squares and triangles on a Tudor style building, and it will give you fantastic looking stucco that's easy to work with and bonds really well. That's probably what I'm gonna be using these for most in the future. I said that these reminded me in smell of acrylic grout that you can buy for tiles. This stuff here, I actually just recently used some on my kitchen. This stuff is suspiciously similar to this acrylic grout. This one is Flex Color by Mapei. Hey, as an ex-contractor, my first thought was, let's just use this stuff. Let's go to the hardware store, buy a big tub of this, and great, I don't have to buy little pots. Then I started thinking about it a little bit. Even if it's exactly the same and it works the same, acrylic grout is not cheap. Anyone who's had to buy this stuff knows this is not a thing you walk into a hardware store and buy for cheap. Pretty sure this tub here was like 80 bucks Canadian. By volume, the little tubs of Vallejo are actually probably more cost effective, so I wouldn't go that route. If you have some left over for some reason, I think it's worth experimenting with though. For mini painting, I think it's probably worth it to buy a wide range of these maybe in different colors and stuff so you can use them right out of the pot onto the mini. But if you want to get some just for terrain building, for doing houses, I would probably go with just buying maybe 2 of these, like one of the pumice, like the rough white pumice, and one of the earth or sands, like a desert sand. These 3 here, well 4 actually, they're all kind of the same, just a different color. You can paint these. So I would just buy one of them, probably the sand, it's gonna be easiest to paint. And then maybe one of the rough pumices for thicker stuff. The white stone has no aggregate in it. And for that, I would be less inclined to get that one because it seems a little bit more just like it's acrylic paste. But getting 2 of these for terrain building and building buildings, I think is a really worthwhile investment. Now, if you're interested in picking some of these up for yourself, I will include links in the video description below to what I could find on Amazon. When I checked earlier, didn't seem like the whole range was on there, but I'll put links to what I can find. And again, this video was not sponsored by Vallejo. I don't have any sort of affiliate program with them, but the links I will give you are Amazon affiliate links, so purchasing through them does help fund these videos. I hope that you guys enjoyed this product test video. If you did, hit that like button and let me know in the comments section below. What I'm really curious about is, do you already have these? Do you use them? What do you think of them? And what I'm really interested in finding out is, if you have these, what creative ways have you been using them? What did I not think of? What should I try to use these for? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for this week, guys. Cheers. I will see you again on Friday for the next build video.